Hey, let's see if our video Sony is messed up. Come on, Sony. Nope. Guarantee you this webcam is gone again. Oh, there's always something. Always something. Where's studio mode? I never can remember. It's like unbelievable how many issues I've been having with the Sony camera. Let me think. So no, that's that. It's just frozen. How can we fix it? I don't know. Maybe we can go relaunch Sony's data harvesting app. Nope. Last time this happened, I had to add a new source. Nope, and it's still not working. Okay, well, we'll try. I don't know. We'll try some things, but if not, we're just going to go with no. We're going to have to go with no webcam because I want to get some work done. Okay, I'm just going to set the clock 2 hours for part 2. Keeping these all 2 hours, under 2 hours, so we can do some easier work with AI stuff. So yeah, we'll go out the webcam for now. I apologize, but just I don't want to have to sit here and try to troubleshoot this. The good news is, if you see what happened, we got all of Manhattan, which is crazy. So it is a pretty big file, but it's not crazy. It's workable. I think the textures are going to be a lot. So let's go version 1.1, Manhattan. And we didn't grab satellite because we can do that. I'll do some stuff overnight. But what we ended up getting was the street data or the full building data. We just don't have. Oh, maybe this fixed itself. Let's see. Nope, still frozen. But the thing is, like, it doesn't really matter because this is just background. So this is going to be, again, our. No, it's still not going. This is going to be our foreground. If you're just kind of joining, we scouted out a spot that was matching a. Might be battery. Battery might have died. That might be the issue. Excuse me. So let me just fix this up. Yeah, so we scouted out an area that made sense for a kind of like an area that I had in my mind for the last couple of years. It was not based on any real location. It was just kind of a concept that I had. And what we did was we went on Google Maps. We looked in Brooklyn because we wanted Brooklyn made a lot of sense. Still frozen. Because we wanted to have Manhattan in the background. And we wanted a cool view in Brooklyn. And when I was in Brooklyn for NFT NYC, I stayed, I think this building, somewhere here. I can't remember. Maybe over here. I don't know. Somewhere close by. I stayed, and I remember this building because I had a view of it. This is the Brooklyn Tower, and it doesn't look very ominous here, but this is what it looks like. It's wild. So actually, this view is basically what we recreated. I didn't even realize it. I had put the Google Maps here. There's over here is the Empire State Building, but I actually had put this here, and turns out, no, this is pretty much the view I picked. Yeah, so it makes sense, and this is exactly what I wanted. So we kind of pictured, hey, there'll be a building here. Right now, this is kind of a drone shot, but we can imagine there'll be a tall building here at some point in the future, and we're going to build a little condo, like a little lookout from this location. So this is the spot we're looking at right here. Go to the camera view. It looks something like this. Now, what we will have to do is bring in a couple more tiles. So pretty much everything beyond here, we can probably get off into the horizon, but we probably need a tile over here, one more, and one here, and then the rest of this is water. So we can do that now. Now, I made a mistake, which I'm annoyed with, which is I didn't get the actual building locations when I did this, which is unfortunate. I should have done it proper with like right tiling, so I knew where every location was. By the way, I sprayed some dish soap in my eye, so that's probably a good idea that you guys can't see me because its left eye is like pretty much closed. But we'll bring in, we'll bring in some more data here, just to fill out the scene, and I've already saved this location. I just forgot to save the last ones. So what we need is basically Governor's Island is the first spot. So I think we did that right. See, we kind of did like a little flip. If we go back here, so we kind of need from the tip of Manhattan to just past wherever. So, I mean, it might be that. We're here. So we got to make sure, we got to do that. I'm not sure now. But anyway, let's just get this and we can see. So, I mean, the good news is that you can bring this in and it will overlap, but it's annoying. It would be nice to have proper tiled data. Oh, there was the location. So we just missed it, which is we can just delete it, and then we can go back and we can just slide it over a little bit and try that again. Copy, paste, import, and now we've got overlap. So we're good. And then we flip over to OpenStreetMap. We hit import, and we should in a couple seconds have the buildings for this area. So as this kind of loads, just to kind of recap, we're doing some kind of prelim work for what is going to be a series of this, click around and find out, this month-long thing I'm doing. We're kind of getting some data so that we can do a bunch of stuff related to a city that I kind of imagine that I want to build out. So the nice thing is we're just going to get this data, and then we're going to do a bunch of different stuff with it afterwards. And the Sony is completely gone in that, so we'll close it off. So a couple more tiles. Unfortunately, the way I did this was not the best, but probably this one. I don't think I need that far down, so let's go try this. And back to here, go to terrain, paste, import. Looks good. See, the problem is, the issue is, like, if we do too much overlap like this, we're going to have double the buildings, and then we're going to have to, like, cut the buildings. So we're better off to get the actual, closest we can. I wish there was a better way to do this. Maybe there is. Oh, that's going to do a duplicate. So that's that one. We should name these Manhattan. And we'll say this was Governor's Island. Maybe we'll call this one Brooklyn Battery. And then this one we're going to get rid of. And then we're going to go back and we're going to copy. We always have to paste and then import. So a little bit better. So we have to move it over a little bit and then down and top. And it looks like it's lined up at the bottom. So over a little bit. Try that. So I don't know the most efficient way to do this, if it would be creating like, probably 1x1 tiles and then making sure that each one doesn't overlap the last. But, famous last words, that's So I did. So let's try one more. I guess it'll probably be close enough. Paste and import. Yeah, that's probably as close as we're going to get it. Okay, so you can see that that last one is, get rid of this, and then this one, and then we're switched to OpenStreetMap and hit import, and that should fill in the building. Should be quick because there's not much there. And then you just wait, and there we go. We got a little gap, and then now again I messed up completely. So this might be a problem I have to solve on my own to figure out, because there's got to be a way to do it. I keep forgetting to write down the coordinates, because once you get rid of it, I don't know if I go back to like select this and I import, I don't think it's going to import this location. It's going to, I think it's going to go, I'm pretty confident it goes back to the min max. Oh, from active. Interesting. Let me try that. So let's go to here, from active. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so let's try this. So go from active, and then we'll import this time a image overlay, and we'll download OSM map Nick, and we have to make sure we're on Brooklyn Battery. We did that. Hit import. Okay, that's huge, because I was like, oh man, this is going to suck if I want to go back and get other data. So from active is what allows us to select existing terrain data. So it takes a while to download. I'll do this one. And then we're just going to do one little sliver here. And then we're going to have basically our scene. And you can go and, forever on this if you want, depending on what you're doing. But this should be enough for everything that I want to do for this project. And then I'm just going to kind of figure out how to optimize it and, organize it. So like the Brooklyn stuff needs to be set up so that it doesn't take up too much space in the background. Okay, I don't know what happened. So, that's unfortunate. I don't know why it didn't work. Oh, no, we got the buildings. Huh. Oh, stupid. Rushing. So it got this. So I have to go back and do this one. Let's do this one piece first, and then we can always run those things overnight. So let's grab this little piece here. So we need to kind of just guess, I think. Oh, actually, hold on. I have an idea. So if I go here and then go up to item, view, no, OSM. If I go terrain from active, I guess I could just put this in. It's a little bit annoying, but paste that in. Okay, hold on. So I need this terrain from active. Okay, so copy this. I don't know if that's working or not. No, it's not. Why that won't let me copy? Okay, doesn't work. Okay, so that's that location down there. So we kind of need to go up and over, kind of like here, and just see what we get to start. So paste and import. And luckily the trade's very quick, so we need to go quite a bit over. It's about the right height, a little bit less on the height, and we need to go probably, I mean, we can technically, like, we could kind of figure it out. So, oh, shoot. So it's basically just past this this little turnpike. So we go over to that. And then the top extent is just at those two little things. So that's like somewhere up there. And then left doesn't matter, but the bottom is just north of the building with these little. So I'd assume that's this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's like, must be here. Something like that. Okay, let's try this. Paste, import, pretty close. Okay, so then we go to this one and we go OpenStreetMap, hit import. So yeah, what would have made sense, again, if we're going to do this over, which I don't think we'll do, but I might end up, is we kind of want to name the neighborhood. So, you know, this is one Flatbush, we know, because that's what we're using. This one's Manhattan Bridge. This one we'll call, if people are from New York, I'm sure, we'll call it John Berry Park. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like if I was, you know, want to do this the right way, I'd probably have a grid system, number it, and then, you know, lay them out perfectly, like select exactly, you know, 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. So this one's Brooklyn Battery. Really should call these terrain because it gets really confusing. And then we got to figure out where those buildings are. It's these ones, Brooklyn Battery buildings. And then we would call this Brooklyn Battery and then drop the terrain in. So now we have that together. This one is this little sliver was kind of what's in it. And nothing really. We'll just call it sliver. I don't know. And then the buildings are, that's this one's the Manhattan buildings. Manhattan buildings. Manhattan. And then this one is, yeah, the sliver. Things you don't think about when you start a project. Okay. And this is Manhattan terrain. Okay, so we have Manhattan, which we can turn off and on. It's heavy to bring that back, so it's good to know. There it is. So that's Manhattan. Brooklyn Battery is over here. This little sliver. Johnny Berry Park is up there. And then we have Flatbush, Manhattan Bridge, and then this joined one. And this is my block out. And then OSM buildings. This one is, oh, I think I imported this twice. What is this one? Okay, I think that was it. Okay, there we go. We got our buildings. Basically New York. Okay, I think we got our location. So we're going to see. Okay, we'll do import OSM. And then Google 3D tiles, which we're going to have to do overnight because it'll be big. AI image. I mean, we could do Google for this area. So let's do that. So let's try this. So this is the one that matters. So if we look at our areas, we're on, this is a little useful. We want to turn off these relationship lines. Okay. So let's try this. So this Google gets a little weird, but I want to kind of show this here, and might as well run it while I'm in the background. So if we get from active, now this is where it's a little bit too bad I can't copy these, it seems like. But I'm going to write these down. So this is one Flatbush, and it is 40.6939 is the max. So we're going to go, I don't know which order these go. Yeah, let me find out. So they go min, then min, and then, so they go around the horn and they copy without the minus. Okay. So this is our main location. So it goes minus 70. I'm just putting these into a note. So it's minus 79, 73. It's just GPS. Oh, sorry, it's lat long, but it's the extent. So it's the top and the bottom, and the left and the right. They're GPS locations. So that that's what creates the bounding box, and then it converts that. So now if I go to here, 40, 73, okay. And now I go back to my map. This hopefully will work. If I paste in, this thing does not accept. Maybe my copy paste is not working, I don't know. I forget how to copy paste, maybe on 3.9878. Oh. Because I can't seem to, oh, it won't let you. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, wait a second. I don't need it. I don't need it. So I just, from active, I just need to go to Google 3D tiles. Now we're going to go to the highest detail, okay? And the way that Google works is like, it doesn't respect, because these are massive tiles and it does a bunch of like compilation stuff. It doesn't respect the boundary. So what you ask for will end up being, you'll get way more. So you have to be very careful with it. So I was going to go ahead and import it. And this is going to take, we'll see. My guess is at this level, it's a pretty small area, but it's going to probably take, well, we'll see. If it doesn't finish tonight, then we'll do it later. So it's going to start downloading. Hopefully it doesn't mess me up. Uh-oh. All right. Well, if it does, slow up Blender, I didn't think it did. I thought I could use it. So if it does, then we're gonna kill it. I don't know if there's like a stop. Yeah. Okay. We'll reload. Save file. And we'll just do the Google stuff overnight. I'll download a huge tile set. Okay. Hopefully I have a good. Oh. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on with Blender. I did a fresh install. I set up autosave. Autosave was working perfectly. Everything was good. I tested it. And then it just like something reverts and it's gone. Look, save, auto, save every 2 minutes. And now something is So frustrating. Okay, well, at least we have Manhattan. Oh, that's so annoying. Really interesting. The terrain data came in really odd. Like it almost looks like Manhattan's sinking. This just could be bad terrain data, but we'll set the water level. Oh, that sucks. What is going on with my autosave? I've said this on previous streams. I get very frustrated because to me, like that is something that you just can't go wrong. Like if your autosave's not working, what do you do? And there's no warning. Like you go to the system and you check and you see that it's saying it's autosaving every 2 minutes. So what the heck are you going to do? Like, what do you change? Turn it on and off? Like, all right, well, I guess I'll just continue and keep saving this. That's very frustrating. Okay, so we're not going to do the Google Tiles. We'll just get the building data from the other ones. Oh, no. Okay, so... Okay, well, we might as well just grab this one because we already know we need that. All that naming I did unknowingly. John Berry Park, Manhattan. Yeah, that's how I should. Why is this so stupid? Okay, which one is this? Okay, we already have the buildings. So we can get rid of this. This is Manhattan. It's good. Flat push separated is good. Joined is good. Bridge is fine. This needs buildings. There's like none of the settings are saving. It's it's unbelievable. I cannot figure out what the heck is happening with this. I can't wrap my head around it. And I've done this 5 times. I change a setting, save it, auto save it, do the whole thing. Like, what possible reason would that have to not? Unbelievable. Okay, this one. Let's do this one over here. We basically need it's so hard to know. So it was like up here. Copy. See what that gets. Close, a little bit too far. Okay, so copy. Paste, import. Still too far. Delete. Copy. Paste. Import. So I feel like it's messing with me now. Way more, I guess. There's got to be a better way to do this, but okay, that one's pretty good. Oh shit, so close. Okay, cool. And then OpenStreetMap import. And then we'll close one Brooklyn Battery. Oh, please don't. Okay, hang on. Brooklyn Battery. Buildings. Okay, Brooklyn Battery, this. And I think what we might as well do is just grab another tile here, and then we'll just keep it low res, and then this will be the high res one. So I think the best way to do this is just basically move it. So let's look again. So just going to move it over and cut the top off. So basically to here and down. Try that. Paste, terrain, paste, import. So pretty close. So a little bit at the bottom, and then move it over. So move it over a little bit at the bottom, copy, paste, import. I don't think that one's good. Too far on both sides. I swear this does like messes with me. Come on, can we get it? Yeah, looks good. Okay, import this. Fingers crossed that it doesn't crash. Took 17 seconds last time. You see what I mean by the tiles though, right? We could have just done, 4 tiles or 6 tiles, and then we would have had them gridded, and it would have been much easier. And we could have copied the extent so it was exact. But, lesson learned. Okay, that's done. Okay, so this is going to be I don't know if that has a neighborhood as a name. We'll call it Downtown Brooklyn. Downtown Brooklyn. Buildings. Okay, so we have all these. We'll put these in action. And we'll create a new collection. Of course we can't. Of course that creates it here. Neighborhoods. Okay. And we'll keep ours out because it's the main one. Okay. Great time to save. So if we could have done this again, we could have just sort of grid these out, and then we could have slowly added all the pieces really easy. But hey, we've got a cool, setup here. And then just to kind of bring up our stats, just to see what we're dealing with, we've got 1.3 million, but we probably have a lot of textures. So we're going to have to kind of figure that out as we go. There's ways to replace the materials. So we could go to just like a gray material, but we're going to have to kind of experiment now and do some things. So now that we have it saved, it's a good time to try a couple things. First of all, we could add a water plane. And generally this works pretty well because the ground it's set up for proper scale, or not proper scale, for the proper height. So usually if you go like probably over here, this is going to be a large plane, but just to kind of see, typically, you know, if you I don't know if that's going to actually work or not, but we'll see. New. Just make this blue. Yeah, it's probably not going to work great. So it should, usually what happens at most of the time is you can bring this up to a water level, but the issue here is more that the terrain data that we have is, you know, there's not a lot of elevation change in Manhattan. So there's not a lot we can do with that in terms of, you know, just putting the water at a certain level, right? This is what Manhattan will look like in a decade. But what we can end up doing after is we can just mask it out and we can put the water in. So we don't necessarily need to worry about that, but even for our illustrations, like probably putting the water in there would probably look pretty good. Okay, let's see what this looks like with some lighting. So we have our atmosphere. Now, if I turn on the rendered view, let's see, because this is where we have a lot of textures. That's not bad. So that was pretty quick. And now, I mean, we're already got something pretty cool. So if we go to our view, and, you know, we can even just go to our view. You know, we can do like a little drone shot. And then we go backwards. And, you know, maybe this is what we end up creating to start, is see what we can get, like how good of just a drone kind of a shot we can get, you know, before we do anything, because OSM does have a feature, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but let's do another save. 2.1. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, building data. There is a light mode, and I think it should just work out the box. What was it? I've done this before. Oh. Okay, so simple, I think, we'll do... Maybe we can't. Nah. Interesting. I thought there was a way to do it. To grab the lights, to light up each of the buildings. Okay, that's all right. Let's just mess around with a couple quick things here. So if we bring in preferences, there's this cool thing called real, no, not real snow. There it is, some position. So this will let us actually set like real world location, which is really cool. So if we go in, because there would be a sun, I'll get rid of this light. There should have been a sun created. I don't know where. It probably got put into one of these random files. I don't know where it would be now. Well, there should be a sun. I'm not sure. Oh, man, not my night. So we have sun control here. So we can kind of mess around with everything from like a night scene. And we have horizontal control, so we can move the sun, direct down. What I was going to show is that we actually have, can get the real data. So this is the actual diameter of the sun. So just for like dramatic effect, you can bring this up. I don't know what else happened there. It was just because the angle. I guess the other thing. Now, I don't know if these are they getting shadows? I think they are. I just don't know why that sun is not showing up. Super odd. Right? So we could pull, through to there. It's just kind of a cool shot. Now, I haven't experimented with a couple of these things. We can do night mode. We can adjust we can adjust the clouds. Just changes this cloud position. We can change like the coverage, all sorts of stuff. I want to try this, but there's too many materials, I think. I'm really curious about object fog, because it basically fades objects based on how far they are away. It's like kind of a fake thing. But the other thing we can do, which looks pretty good, but will probably cause massive headaches, is if we make like, add mesh cube, and let's make this 10,000, and then we change this to bounds. Sorry, wire? No. Bounds, I guess let's change it like this. And then we kind of just adjust this to match our city. Bring it up, scale it down, probably something like that. And then if we go to our material, shader, new, and what we want is a principled volume, and we're going to plug that in to here, and then density down to like really low, 0.01, and then bring this back, and hopefully it's not, so probably too much still. There we go. So see, now it kind of adds a bit of a haze, and you kind of got to just figure out the number that makes sense. That's too much. And then if you go down to your camera view, we have to go camera, and this is where you have to set. There we go. Now from this angle, we can find our cube. Wait, do we have to? That one. Sphere. Shouldn't really put in lights, but okay. So from here, now you can adjust this. So too much. Oddly, needs to be bigger. And then it just gives a bit of an extra haze. Sometimes with this, because there's no light coming in, it really blocks. Blender can only calculate so many bounces, and this is basically blocking light as it comes. So one of the tricks, although it's really hard to tune, is to add some emission to, and it's like weird, like there's a spot where it goes from nothing to like, it's like right there, maybe that's it. I think as soon as you go to 1, it jumps. No. No. All right, see, there's no, I don't think there's a way around it. Oh no, we can go to this. Sorry, this is messing. Yeah, that's not going to work. Kind of get some fog. And there's other ways to do this, but just for quick, and then, you know, you kind of have a bit of fog in the background, which helps. But again, the light gets really low, so sometimes you have to compensate by turning the light up. But then for some reason, which, you know, happens, you use this things 100 times, and then the one time it decides to do this, which is I can't actually find the sun over here, which is like very, very odd. Everything's turned on unless they change the plugin, but usually you can 100% go over here and do it. See, it's there, but they must have hit it. They must have hit it so that you can't, so you don't, so you don't mess it up, I guess. But here's kind of cool. So if you take, hopefully this works. So latitude, longitude, and a north offset, which I don't think we're going to need because I think that this lines this up properly. So if you look at it in this view, like I think this is true north already. So we should be able to just grab the lat and long, which we already have here. So we should be able to grab that. And the longitude. And with any luck, we'll see. Should be north offset. I mean, I don't even know with this one. And then we can pick the time of day. So, so I was at NFT NYC April 3rd to 5th. So I can go, let's say the 4th, April 4th. April 4th, 2023, and we can pick our, our time. Time zone, what is New York -5? I figure it should have that -5. I figure it should know. So, -5. 6:29. I can't remember how it works. I don't know if this is working. So this is midnight, so it should come up at dark. It did not. So something's going on with this sun we got to figure out, which is odd. Because I don't know how they would hide. How would you hide a sun? I don't remember now how to. Oh, here it is. A lot of textures. So there it is. So what did they do? Does he somehow like have it blocked? Oh, by the way, super cool. It looks like it actually names the buildings, which is really neat. I don't know what they've got done. 'Cause I've used this plugin before, and I've always been able to manipulate the sun. I always set the sun to the actual location. I don't know if they just did that because people were messing it up or what was going on. Oh, thanks, Mai. I appreciate it. Sorry, I don't have my chat on. Restream. I appreciate the kind words. Bit of a struggle right now, tonight at least. Okay, so we can't show that. We'll have to add that to my list of things that I have to go troubleshoot, is why that won't let me change it. But we can do like turn this one off, and then we can also add our own sun. This might be the workaround to this, is if we add our own sun, go back to the scenes, view layer, and then we go down in the sun, we go to the world view, and we'll go to the sun. Where the heck is it? Okay, now I think our settings at least should work. Let's just turn off this atmosphere for a second. Oh, because it's night. Okay, so let's change it to like 1800. This makes sense. I don't really know what the time thing is. Okay, so that's working. I don't understand how this time calculation works. But I want like sunset, which is somewhere in here. Yeah, I don't know why that's not going. And then what we can do is we can add an HDRI. So T open. And I think I have some good sunset ones. Probably something like this. And then I know this doesn't look very good, but baby steps. Baby steps. Okay. The point I was trying to make anyway with this was just to show that we can bring this stuff in, sky and the atmosphere and whatever. I mean, the main thing we're trying to do here is we're trying to see what we can do with AI with this scene. So let's go back here for a second. We can leave this over here on the view. So it's a good time. I'll save this to, okay. So we want to try a couple things. The goal is to use a combination of the Google tiles, which will have good high resolution imagery of the buildings that we can bring in. It's heavy. It's going to take some time. That's the realistic option. Then we have a couple options for what to do beyond that. So on the AI side, the goal is to try to get AI to, like one of the image generators, to use the existing data to paint essentially some different scenes. So that would be very cool to try, because again, it would give us something to start with. One option is, is there a tool within Blender that will actually paint textures onto the buildings? We're going to test that out. If not, could we generate a background image from this perspective with this general shape in these buildings? Because if we could do that, then we could use that as a backdrop to get us started. Then modeling is going to be a combination of, importing maybe some procedural buildings with a bit more detail. Although I'm not even convinced of that, because these buildings are actually shaped, pretty well. Obviously, like the buildings in the actual, like this is, even though it's not perfect, this is. This is the right height. So now the question is like, what can we add to this in terms of texture? And I just realized we probably have duplicate. So where's that coming from? Oh, because we did the whole thing. Yeah, one of the downsides of the way that we imported that. Okay, we'll figure that out. Okay, so we'll take a peek and see if we got this working. So there's an update available. So let's see. Size. So I already did this. See if this works. Okay, so while that's going, I'm going to try a couple things. Let's try the block out first. So this is my block out. Which was just the original kind of crappy, blocks that I put just to kind of describe what I was looking for when we were scouting a location. I think I probably lost my camera. Which, of course, I can't get back because I went to single mode. Okay, so let's bring our camera back, scale this thing up so we can find it. Okay. What the heck? I swear. Okay, ignore this one over here. Just trying to get a decent view. Okay, let's just try this for now. I know it seems silly, but I'm very curious what happens with something like Midjourney when it's given, like, this is an image. This is my first test. Okay. So, B. Render. View. Viewport. Where's my render viewport? Viewport render image. There we go. Okay. Let's just try it. Save as. Call this output. Images for AI. And then we'll, we can try different original. Save. Okay, let's see first of all if Stable Diffusion is still doing something. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. It looks like it's gonna try something. So it says in edit mode, select the faces to project onto. Okay, so that's fine. We can do that. So I think we're gonna have to select all the buildings. I don't know if this will work with multiple. Okay, let's try this. Okay, we did that. Okay, it's doing something. Let's see what this did. Nothing that I can tell. So it created a texture. Okay, let's just try one. Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna go research that one. So what does this do? Okay, I'm not really sure. I'll have to go look and try to see what the setup is for this. I've never used this properly before, but I'm really curious. Okay, so let's go over and see. So it should have done. What was the image? Just blank. Okay. Let's just go see what Midjourney does with this. You know your brain is dead when you're trying to remember what Discord is called. Okay. Okay. So wish I could make this a little bit easier to see, but yeah, there's that. Okay. So what we want to do is imagine, and we want to grab, okay, so first of all, we want to put the image in. So let's drop this image in. Okay. Copy the link. Dystopian NYC. I just want to see if it does anything with that image. Does it look at that in any way? So what I did is I just gave it a prompt, and I just gave it the image URL plus the prompt. So it should do 50-50 weight, and it should, try to make something with this. Now, I just don't know, maybe we got contrast. If it blocks out a city and it looks this shape, we're looking good. If it does, totally ignores it, we try a couple little options, and then, we'll go down to some other ideas. This is totally froze up now. So I would say it took the style, but it certainly didn't do much with the perspective. You could maybe say that this one kind of did. So now everything is totally frozen on here. I don't know what that is. Oh. So it's actually running, I think. So I can't tell. It's totally thrown everything into a disaster. But I don't know if it's because it's imported image that actually work now. No. I mean, it's like unusable right now. Would you say that's still going or finished? All right, I think I'm going to have to shut it down. I can't believe how slow this is. It's almost like I ran out of hard drive space. I'm just going to close it and see if it fixes it, or it feels like it's just Blender though. I think it was just Blender. I'm going to try to go back to an older version. This still even seems slow. Okay. What's on my list? So this isn't working. This we did. This we were trying, but so far no luck. We did OSM, AI image, and Skybox. Oh, okay. Let's try the Skybox thing, and then what I'm gonna do is download the. Okay, so we're gonna try Skybox. I'll download the Google data, and then I'll call it a stream, and then we'll work on it tomorrow. So, give me 2 minutes to use the washroom, and we'll be right back. Okay. So this is something I signed up for this project to test this. So we're going to go do that now. So this is called Skybox. And, okay. Interesting. Okay. So this is Skybox, and what this creates is basically 360 images using AI. Now I paid for a bunch of well, like a big account to at least for the month to test this out. So I'm just kind of clicking around to see if there's anything interesting. Okay. So let's brand new prompt bar, a toolbar. Okay. Cool. This is interesting. Okay, so that's really interesting. So there's painting. So you can brush in, I guess, certain parts if you want something created somewhere. Undo sphere guide. That's the skybox. Plain grid. There's one over there that was to upload an image. So I'd like to try to see if I could upload. I swear I saw that. Did I not? How do I get that? Did I not just say that I could upload an image? How do I get that help up? It's weird. It gave it gave me that option, and then as soon as I closed it. Okay, here we go. I guess I didn't. Okay. Well, let's maybe I just imagined that. So let's just try this out. Okay, we'll use their AI thing. A realistic 360 shot, realistic view from One Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. Let's just see what it gets with this. So options are realistic. There's some interesting stuff. Futuristic, so there's some cool stuff there. Render, no. Don't want that. This would be interesting. These are all experimental stuff. Interesting. Huh. Okay, let's just go with this. See what it does. I don't know. So it's just we're testing. I don't know if this thing is aware. If I say one Flatbush Avenue, does it know what that is? Is it going to look? Okay, so it used AI. VR360 panorama, stunning Brooklyn skyline, one Flatbush Avenue, urban sprawl below, high-rise silhouettes, bustling street, realistic render, finer details, lifelike textures. Pretty cool. Okay. Ooh. Oh, it's a little bit of a nightmare. Trippy. Trippy, though. Definitely not realistic. Okay, so let's just say, get rid of that, because I think it already knows that. Stunning Brooklyn from... Okay, let's try this one. Okay, that VR thing throws it off. Very interesting. So it can't get the horizon line straight, which is odd. Wow, this is kind of garbage, to be honest. Let's try a few things. It's a little better. It's actually a lot better. Not perfect, but pretty cool. Okay, so what does the brush do? Like, what does that do? So I do a brush. Now what? Oh, I see. Okay, so like if you just wanted to, I guess, just paint random shapes. This seems kind of silly. Let's just go with, see what it does with just plain. I was kind of hoping, I would know what to expect with this, but I was kind of hoping is that I could generate this, to use this to generate like an HDRI. This is interesting. So it kind of made a cool patio. So I think something about the aerial really throws it off. So there's like One World Trade, but then it's just kind of gotten crazy. Okay, so if we just remix this. You know, I come to think of it, the aerial is going to throw off the horizon line because the perspective is going to be too high. And I feel like I don't think you can get a good HDRI from the air. Not one that's going to be flat like this. That didn't do anything. Okay. Realistic. Oh, I didn't spell Brooklyn right. Okay, now it's gone crazy. I say so far I'm not really convinced this is much use. This might be a waste of a monthly membership. I was trying to get some information about what he has included. So I bought this for a month. History. Remix this. Prompt enhancer. Depth maps. So was the depth maps we get as an export? That's not helpful. Extract cube map. 3D mesh. Yeah, I don't know what the use of this would be. I can't get it to generate. Like this was probably the best one. No. That's the depth map. This was pretty cool. No, not this one. I think it was this one. This is probably as close as it got. Okay, so what do we get? We get images, cube maps, HDRs, which will take the HDR. Video, I don't know what the video would do. Let's see what this does. Whoa. See what it gets. Be interesting. Okay, so to go to our city, just to kind of show you what that would do, not that I don't think this was much use, but at least it's cool to kind of try out. So this is the HDR it made. And if we go to the rendered view, it's going to be really weird. So, see, this is what it did. Right, so it creates just like a background image. Again, not much use, which you really need it to be grounded. Like it really needs to be, because if you're down here, you really need it from the ground. But then it's kind of tricky because as soon as you go up, you lose perspective, right? Like right now, it's like it's above a city. It doesn't work. You know, this is our camera. You know, you kind of trick it a little bit to being a background, but like I would have to have it generated from this view, and then I really wouldn't be able to do much. It might work for a cool background, but it might have to be a bit of a finessing to get it to work. So let's just go see what it got for a GLB, which is kind of interesting. So it's attempting to make a mesh out of this. So what did it do? To just make a interesting. I don't know what the point of that is. What's the point of that? It's definitely cool to go into it. It's a neat effect, but I don't really know what the point of that would be. Huh. Be more interesting if okay, let's go back to a realistic view of the view from downtown Brooklyn. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Shoot. I mean, it's impressive, like that it can generate that. Like, let's just be honest, that's crazy. But is it useful? I don't think so. Maybe it'll surprise me. Nope. Okay, let's create a new one. Okay, so let's see what the AI enhance does. Just gonna kind of play around with. So it's getting the horizon better. It really wants to put in the one world trade. So let's see, can go. Interesting. Okay, so that worked really well, that it got rid of the one world trade, but it's still kind of disaster. Okay, let's try this. Let's do the drawing. So I know what, how do I rotate? Okay, so I know like a little bit what this looks like. So if we wanted a view like this, well, let's go. Okay. Interesting. Let's change this. Oh, this camera thing is driving me nuts. Okay. Something is just happening. It's just freezing this up. Oh, dream texture's still doing something. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that. Like it won't stop. And I can't even go in it. Yeah, it's done. Okay, well, I'm going to say not that this was not productive because we managed to pick our scene. We managed to get everything imported into Blender. These are not very good. We got everything imported into Blender. Yeah, that's basically it. The AI stuff's not really working, but I'm going to kill this dream thing because it's just right now causing all sorts of pain and suffering. And then what I was going to do is I'm going to download some terrain data for this area and let this run overnight. And we should have some really nice terrain imagery, like 3D imagery to work with. It'll be way better than this. And then I'll just sort of do some research on what the AI tools are and if there's anything that might work. And we'll kick it off first thing in the morning. So I'm going to just go ahead and kick this off right now. 150. So Blender OSM. So from active. And then we're going to go to Google 3D Tiles. We're going to say buildings. And we're going to import. And now that's going to run in the background and download a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll leave this, kill the stream, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably start streaming pretty early. Have a good night.